Next on the news, millions of people suffer from addiction every year, but one facility has become a safe haven for those battling substance abuse.
For years, St. Christopher's Inn has been helping people beat their addictions with the power of faith. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll have that story coming up.
The Holy Father is speaking on serious issues during his first full day in Belgium. The Pope calling attention to the sexual abuse crisis, which he calls a scourge in the church. Dozens of couples are preparing to say "I do" again. The Diocese of Brooklyn helping husbands and wives ring in their wedding anniversaries with a special mass. We introduce you to one couple whose love has lasted more than 70 years. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. Addiction Recovery Month comes to a close. We're taking a look at a facility that's helped treat thousands of men for substance abuse every year. St. Christopher's Inn in Putnam County guides them through recovery with therapy and prayer. As Currents News' Katie Vasquez reports from Garrison, that powerful combination can make all the difference.
They have their chores and time to play. But the main purpose for their stay at St. Christopher's Inn in Garrison is to get sober. The recovery program, run by the Franciscan Friars of the Atonement, is equipped to treat 118 clients, or Brother Christophers, as they are known here. Like Victor, who has battled addiction for 40 years, but is going through rehab for the first time.
I indulged into other drugs, but it was mainly alcohol, and I just got to a point where I just couldn't take it no more.
The most recent data from the New York State Office of Addiction Services and Support says in 2022, 2.8 million New Yorkers had a substance use disorder. 72% of those who sought treatment were men. The Friars facility incorporates spirituality into the recovery program through prayer, meditation, and Mass.
You think you can control your life? Look at the mess you've made. Okay, so that's the understanding. So look for a power greater than yourself, outside yourself.
We have a good result.
That's why their staff claims it's one of the more successful programs in the state.
There is a sense of dignity and care for one another, a lot of love, a lot of encouragement.
John says he lost his faith and control over his life due to addiction. You said you were agnostic before you came here. What was going through your head coming to a rehab facility with Franciscan values?
I'm just going to stick it out for 90 days. It's what's the worst thing that could happen. That's the biggest thing that this place gave to me. Like a meaningful connection to a higher power.
It's a connection he wants to keep once he leaves.
And it's changed my perspective on what life is and how it is that I experience it on such a deep level.
But even after treatment, relapse is common. The CDC estimates 40 to 60% of addicts experience it. Thomas says he didn't expect to return to St. Christopher's after completing treatment in 2008.
God kind of goes by the wayside, and you may be praying to God, but the prayers are different. You know, the prayers may be, God, get me out of this.
The second time around, the Catholic found God again.
I've never missed a Mass, ended up becoming a reader at Mass.
For anyone out there struggling, Father Dennis Polanco says the first step is asking for help.
Is reach out to other people, you know, and don't be ashamed about it. I think one of the things that holds families back is that it becomes a big secret. In
Garrison, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
If you would like to learn more, you can visit the facility's website, stchristophersin-graymore.org. And for more resources for those struggling with addiction, just go to dioceseofbrooklyn.org/addiction-recovery-month for more information. On his first full day in Belgium on Friday, Pope Francis was straightforward with civil authorities. During an address to the King, Queen, and about 300 dignitaries, the Holy Father went off script for nearly 2 minutes to speak about sexual abuse. The Pope called it a scourge in the Church, while emphasizing the Church's commitment to address the issue.
Qualcuno mi dice, ma santità, pensi che secondo le statistiche la grande maggioranza degli abusi si dà in famiglia o nel quartiere o nel mondo dello sport e nella scuola. Se uno solo è sufficiente per vergognarsi. Nella Chiesa dobbiamo chiedere perdono di questo e che gli altri chiedano perdono dalla sua parte. Questa è la nostra vergogna e la nostra umiliazione.
The Holy Father also spoke about the issue of so-called forced adoptions in the country, a practice that happened between 1945 and the early 1980s when tens of thousands of children were taken away from their mothers. The Pope said he was saddened to learn about the practice, saying he hoped the Church will find the strength to bring clarity. Be sure to follow New York's Pope station, Currents News, and the tablet online for continuing coverage of the Holy Father's journey this weekend. And speaking of the tablet newspaper, while you're at Mass this weekend, you'll find stories you won't find anywhere else, including this story of the American movement to replace a church bell damaged during the bombing of Nagasaki. The St. Kateri Institute, a lay apostolate in Massachusetts, has raised tens of thousands of dollars for the project. Also in the paper, a preview of some special programming you'll soon be able to find right here on Net TV. Learn all about the man Time magazine calls the world's first televangelist, Bishop Fulton J. Sheen, whose Emmy award-winning TV personality can soon be found every Wednesday night at 9 right here on Net TV. You can see all of that and more by picking up the paper at your local church. But if you want to support the tablet and Catholic journalism, consider becoming a member. You can do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. Finally tonight, love is in the air this weekend as the Diocese of Brooklyn prepares to bless the couples who have made it through thick and thin at an anniversary mass on Saturday. Among those saying "I do" all over again are a husband and wife who have been together for over 70 years. And as Currents News' Katie Vasquez reports from Park Slope, their commitment to God and each other is as strong as ever before.
Every morning, Josephine and Cristobal Rodriguez pray the rosary, then watch the Spanish Mass on Net TV. The Brooklyn couple, who also celebrate Mass every Sunday at Holy Family St. Thomas Aquinas Parish in Park Slope, believes their faith is part of the reason they have managed to stay married for 71 years.
The first thing I do in the morning is thank God for this day.
He called me. If I'm drinking coffee, I have to leave the coffee and come and listen to the Mass.
They met in Mocha, Puerto Rico when she was 13 and he was 16. But the sparks didn't fly until they moved to New York in 1951 and reconnected in Brooklyn.
We met again, and then we started dating, and then we married.
They married July 3rd, 1953 at Queen of All Saints Church in Fort Greene. While the day looked picture perfect, it did have some hiccups.
We borrowed a camera from my friend, a flower girl. Took the camera and dropped it, and that was it.
But they will get a chance to celebrate their marriage again at the Diocese of Brooklyn's wedding anniversary Mass this weekend. Josephine says seeing the other couples together and being blessed by Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan will be inspiring.
That makes me feel like it's something that's going into our hearts because we see all these people together.
So what do the Rodriguezes say is the secret to a happy marriage?
Love, respect, and communication are the most important thing in a marriage. When you have that, you are able to survive.
I never go to bed, you go to sleep, never go mad. Never.
Plus, they thank God every day for each other. In Park Slope, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
No problem.
That anniversary Mass will happen on Saturday, September 28th at 11:30 a.m. at St. Thomas Aquinas Church in Brooklyn. That's on 1550 Hendrickson Street in Flatlands. All couples, regardless of anniversary year, are invited to attend. And before we go, do you have a story idea or want to share a tip? Email us at newstips@desalesmedia.org or call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.